Now on CoastTV News.
Passing the ordinance, Georgetown sets itself apart from the majority of Sussex County with regulations on retail marijuana sales.
Too hot to handle, soaring temperatures just baking the coast, and our poll question of the night, how to stay cool.
Rectifying controversy, Rehoboth Beach commissioners uphold their decision on the new city manager's contract.
And Beryl continues to bluster, the damage and death left behind in its wake.
And believe it or not, the remnants of Beryl is going to combine with the heat we already have in place, and it's going to be a mess.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Paving the pathway to pot sales, Georgetown passes its ordinance regulating the drug's distribution in town limits. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight with an answer to the question, how is Georgetown going to handle marijuana?
It's been a long road, but tonight the Georgetown Town Council bucked the trend in Sussex County and made it official. They will allow recreational marijuana sales within town limits. Tonight, the council went through the second reading of the ordinance that will ultimately regulate where those sales can take place. So exactly what does this ordinance do? Well, let me break it down for you. Only 2 retail businesses would be allowed in town limits. They can only operate in the commercial district along Route 113. It limits hours of operation from Monday through Friday for these businesses, and that would be from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Then on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5, no retail sales on Sundays. It also places restrictions on where these businesses can operate. Retail pot shops cannot be located within 1,000 feet of any church, licensed child care facility, school, or rehab center. Now, this was by no means a clean sweep. The vote to adopt the ordinance was 3-2 in favor. It now places Georgetown apart from a lot of the other coastal towns who've already passed bans on the sale, cultivation, or testing of the drug.
Plans for an emergency veterinary hospital are moving forward in Georgetown. Town Council voted unanimously to approve a conditional use amendment decision tonight. Right now, pet owners tell us there aren't a lot of options for their playful pups if they get sick or injured in the middle of the night. According to town documents, the planned pet hospital can be open 24/7 with appropriate staffing. It's slated to go in one of 3 buildings in a medical center on Old Laurel Road. Town requirements for parking, architecture, lighting, and signage must be met.
Heading to OC now, locals and vacationers in Ocean City making sure to plan ahead before heading out the door.
The blistering hot start to the week, and can I say humid, hasn't stopped people from going to the beach or making a living.
Well, while some people lay in the shade to cool off, others would rather make their AC do the work.
The weather is gorgeous so far today. Nice breeze. I love it. It's beautiful.
And I love it too. I love the ocean. There's a little breeze going. It's beautiful.
If you are planning on going to the beach sometime this week, be sure to bring some extra shade, water, and of course, sunscreen. All of this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what's your go-to method for staying cool during a heat wave?
Let's take a look at the updated results on your screen here. It looks like the majority just say staying inside in that air conditioning. That's at 82%, a large majority of the vote here.
Now, it's not a bad way to go if you have no other options. If you haven't voted yet, you can still go to coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app.
Now let's take a live look outside into Ocean City, where it remains pretty warm tonight. Let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams on our first look at the forecast this evening. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. And you know, the heat is bad enough, but when you combine it with an oppressive amount of humidity, because that's what you see right now, this is basically fog, and we've been under a dense fog basically advisory along the entire coastal region. So that combination of moisture and heat, that just spells trouble and breathing problems for those who are susceptible to the heat. We had a high of 95 degrees today in Georgetown, 94 in Salisbury. Now, think about this. We were in the 90s really for the last 5 days in a row, and just tracking the heat, for example, this is near normal or above normal. We've had more measurements, particularly these last few over here, all right, which is actually for July, that's caused us more concern for more heat. So when you compare that to where we are, we're talking about 88 for the high, and we have an active heat advisory for our entire area that actually officially kicks in for tomorrow morning. Then we have the remnants of Beryl moving its way towards us, and we're going to have to deal with this. In fact, in weather news, since reaching America, Beryl has killed at least 4 people in Houston and Harris County, making landfall in the U.S. Houston's mayor saying among them a civilian employee of the police department there. Car was submerged in floodwaters. Michael Yoshida is in Houston with the latest on this deadly storm.
A stern warning.
Don't let the clear skies fool you.
At a press conference Monday evening, Houston's mayor telling residents they are not out of the woods yet, even though Beryl has passed through.
We still have dangerous circumstances. We still have high water across our city.
That advisement as first responders were out conducting rescues. Houston firefighters rescued a man trapped in bed and another resident when a tree fell on the house. 2 other people died in separate incidents of trees falling on homes in Harris County Monday, authorities said. Another person died when lightning started a house fire, and a civilian employee of the Houston Police Department died when his car became stuck in floodwaters. Across the area, fallen trees, collapsed roofs, and flooded interstates painted a grim picture for Texans as Beryl made its way further inland, spawning tornadoes, and at one point producing wind gusts reaching as high as 94 miles per hour in some areas.
The wind tunnel just went crazy. Stuff started flying off the walls, zinging around the house.
Beryl made landfall southwest of Houston Monday morning as a Category 1 hurricane, eventually morphing into a tropical storm. It knocked out power for more than 2.7 million Texas customers, most of them Houstonians. The lieutenant governor confirmed that they are already in recovery mode.
We are strong, and Texans always pull together.
In Houston, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Tonight, people in the Angola area have answers after money was stolen out of cars in several neighborhoods in June. Delaware State Police says 31-year-old William Rodenbaugh is behind bars. According to troopers, the communities impacted include Angola Beach and Estates, Bay Ridge Crossing, and the Cove. And money was stolen out of cars. The agency says Rodenbaugh also trespassed on several properties. He faces 2 felony charges, including stealing from people older than 62.
New at 11, a Lincoln man is facing charges for his 10th felony DUI. Delaware State Police say 58-year-old Anthony Nesmith was pulled over Friday night after failing to stay in his lane in Greeley Avenue. Troopers say he showed multiple signs of impairment. After standardized field sobriety tests, Nesmith was taken into custody for driving under the influence. He was committed to Sussex Correctional Institution on an $8,000 cash bond.
New at 11, 4 Delaware women are set to be inducted into the Delaware Women's Hall of Fame for 2024. Governor John Carney's office announced this selection today. Ray Jones Avery has 35 years in public service under her belt with many Delaware organizations. Julissa Coriano is a clinical social worker known for her work with undocumented people, the LGBTQIA community, and victims of human trafficking. Anna Marie Leo is a dance studio founder in Wilmington with students who've made it to Broadway. Colonel Melissa Zebley is a 32-year-old veteran of Delaware State Police and made history in July 2020 as the first woman to serve as the 26th superintendent of DSP.
An Ocean Pines playground is temporarily closed. The Ocean Pines Association announced today that Bridgewater Playground was slated for improvements this week, and mulch and borders have already been removed. The project got pushed back. No word yet on when that playground will reopen.
Controversy surrounding new Rehoboth Beach City Manager Taylor Tedder's $250,000 contract finally came to a head at a public meeting this afternoon.
Adding to that backlash, the Delaware Department of Justice also found the city in violation of the Freedom of Information Act for not having a public meeting to approve Tedder's contract.
How can you consider the contract without the charter provision that governs the adoption of his employment?
A packed public meeting puts all eyes on new city manager Taylor Tedder's contract.
Right, and you're out of order for doing what you're trying to do, Stan.
City commissioners voted 7-0 to ratify Tedder's contract. Thomas Gaynor, who sent a petition to the Attorney General on Tedder's contract, says this meeting was a sham.
We made an offer that if the mayor resigns today, litigation can possibly be averted. If he doesn't resign, then Chancery Court will be the next stop.
Taylor Tedder keeps his head held high.
It didn't have an effect for me, but it just meant that we had to have this meeting today.
Tedder tells me he's looking forward to doing his job.
Looking at cost savings, trying to identify a strategic plan so that we can move forward with a work plan where we can actually be held accountable by the public and the board by presenting quarterly of our progress of an implementation plan of priorities.
Tedder says increasing transparency is a top priority and city meeting agendas will be very informative moving forward. Gaynor still maintains that Tedder's contract is illegal and violates city charter requirements for this position. He says the next steps are up to the city to decide, but the city held today's meeting to rectify past controversy.
Right now, the city of Rehoboth is asking its locals and visitors for some help with conserving water. The city says its water system has been under strain due to a combination of the high temperatures we've all felt and a surge in visitors and limited rainfall also over the past few days. Now, to help spread out the demand, the city requests that all water customers with odd addresses irrigate on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Meanwhile, the city wants even-numbered addresses to irrigate Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We have more news to get to this evening.
Still to come, ready to take on the world, the men's Olympic basketball team will mesh young and old as they vie for gold.
And also a groundbreaking in Ocean City, how a new project will help and house police.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. Watching out for a chance of afternoon thunderstorms in Cambridge at 92, 93 on Wednesday, and we're staying in the 90s for Thursday with a chance of a spot shower. And the heat advisory is still in effect. I'll explain all that coming back here in about 60 seconds, so don't go anywhere.
Now that it's sizzling out, is your AC fizzling out? Beat the heat with Horizon Services. Upgrade that old unit for 0 down and 0% interest. And get up to a 12-year warranty on your new full home comfort system. Plus, save up to $3,500 in free upgrades and rebates when you schedule your free estimate. Same-day service, expert technicians, and a job done right the first time. Need service today? Horizon is on the way.
It's whaler season at Taylor Marine Center. Enjoy summer savings on the unsinkable legend, Boston Whaler. Taylor Marine Center has unprecedented inventory, factory incentives, and year-end savings on Montauk's Vantages, the newly designed Dauntless, and the offshore classic Outrage. Taylor Marine Center, with 2 award-winning locations to serve you in Milford, Delaware, and Ocean City, Maryland. Visit Taylor Marine today, your whaler season dealer.
Our biggest challenge will continue to be the heat and the humidity, and now the remnants of Beryl is going to start getting a little bit closer to us. So now that chance of a thunderstorm is not going to just be a passing afternoon shower, but looking like a pretty sure bet as we go a little bit later in the work week. You see, our tidal health camera in Seaford, we're in the 70s, but we have a heavy amount of moisture in the atmosphere. The dew point temperature sits sky high over the entire Delmarva Peninsula. We're at 72 in Rehoboth, 77 in Milton, and 78 in Georgetown. But look at the dew point temperatures, 71, 75, 77. This is the kind of stuff that would cause concerns for tornadoes if we had an active front pushing through with the dry line and all those other wonderful ingredients you would need for a supercell thunderstorm. And it feels like, 77, 80 and all of that. So the heat index is not a problem now, but it was earlier today. I mean, we got up to like 98, 112 in some cases, And this is actually how we cooled down, but we're still under a heat advisory, and the dense fog advisory has been reinitiated for our area for tonight. So it's not just now, but it's continuing. Now, remember, when we talk about heat advisories, I want to do this just as a quick reminder as you're using our app. The heat advisories aren't for Dewey Beach, Rehoboth Beach, Lewis. It's for Sussex, inland Sussex. If you're along the beach, because you're on the beach, that's why you're actually getting a break from that. Now, we had a dense fog advisory that was supposed to expire at 7 o'clock. Now it's been extended a little bit more, so we have a lot of moisture that's just in place. And, we've had 15 days of temperatures above 90. We're supposed to be at about 12. We're already 3 above that, and guess what? I think we're going to clock at least 3 more within just this week alone, and we haven't even gotten to mid-July yet. It's really hot because we had 88 for the norm, 95 for the high today, which is only 2 degrees away from the record, which was set in 1986. So for Tuesday, by 1 o'clock, we're looking for scattered showers, winds pushing primarily out of the south. Then by Tuesday evening, we clear out. Wednesday, we start off in the 80s. In the afternoon, we'll be in the 80s, and it's just going to feel stuffy and steamy all day long regardless. And then the heat index, for example, on Wednesday, we're going to be in the hundreds. Thursday, we're going to be in the upper 90s, okay? And then we'll perhaps get a break by Friday before we go back to the 90s again. So tonight, hovering humidity and that thick moisture and the dense fog. Heat advisory officially kicks in at 10 o'clock tomorrow and continues into Wednesday. Triple-digit heat index continues for Wednesday. We may get a break from the heat briefly on Friday, then after that, we go right back where we started. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast.
Thank you, Paul.
Right now, the city of... Sorry, Mal.
The Ocean City Police Department, it's soon going to have a new building to operate out of, but that's only part of why today's groundbreaking is so excited for the force tasked with keeping people safe in OC.
Mallory, in some ways, this substation is going to help OCPD with their day-to-day operations, but in other ways, as you're about to see, it might even help them with recruitment. Shovels full of sand. Today was the official groundbreaking for the Ocean City Police Department's new downtown substation.
So all in all, it's a really exciting project.
The new substation, which will be located here on the corner of South Baltimore Avenue and Somerset Street, has been years in the making.
What we're doing is we are building a 3-story building on what was an underutilized parking lot in downtown Ocean City.
This new facility will feature state-of-the-art offices, meeting spaces, interview rooms, a bicycle repair garage, a public lobby, even public restrooms. But maybe the biggest win for the police department is the employee housing that'll be built right on site.
Most of our seasonal staff is not from around here. They come from various different states, so being able to give them affordable housing right here in Ocean City is huge.
We're always at a deficit of available housing, and we feel that we could better hit the deficit of employees that we have if we had the proper housing for them.
While the OCPD considers this a big win for the department moving forward, they have heard from some concerned citizens who are worried that this new substation is a little further off the boardwalk than the existing one. But the Deputy Communications Manager, Ashley Miller, says police visibility isn't going to be a problem.
You're still going to see us. We will still have all of our officers up there, whether it's on foot, on bike patrol, and all of that. So our community doesn't have to worry, and it's going to be a great central location for both whether you're boardwalk or you're bayside to be able to come find our officers.
For Ocean City, this new substation is more than just the latest addition to the force along Maryland's coast. With the housing, it's also an addition to the Ocean City community. One extra tidbit that I found interesting, right now the OCPD bikes, those are housed at the Beach Patrol building, and when this new building is finished, it's going to free up some much needed space for those guys. Now that won't happen right away. Ashley Miller tells CoastTV they expect this project to take about a year to complete.
Play ball. The Delmarva Sports Network is airing the Maryland State Little League 8-10 game tomorrow. This is the first ever Little League to be played on the Delmarva Sports Network. It's Delmar versus Dorchester. First pitch is at 3. DSN has live coverage and a replay will be at 8.
Still to come, class action lawsuit. Walmart facing legal trouble over alleged deceptive pricing.
But first, a reminder to keep your kids from playing with fire. What fire investigators say happened here.
Welcome to Beach Barrels. No matter where you're from, everyone is a local. Fun times and good vibes await with a wide variety of craft brews, plus our award-winning Primo Hoagies made fresh daily. Dance the night away at the best live music venue in Ocean City. And there's never a bad seat to catch your favorite sports team. Dine in or relax on our outside deck with comfortable seating and beautiful palm trees for a cozy, tropical atmosphere. Beach Barrels open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. at 132nd and Coastal Highway.
Get ready for the adventure of a lifetime with summer savings at Gateway Subaru. Right now, save up to $3,300 on a new 2024 Subaru Outback. Plus, take advantage of great financing rates as low as 0% for 48 months. At Gateway Subaru, we're committed to higher standards, ensuring every journey starts with trust and excellence. Stop by and discover the thrill of the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Designed for the bold, ready for any adventure. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Hi, I'm Sussex County farmer Blaine Hitchens, and I plant cover crops to improve my soil health. Cover crops help with nutrient cycling, weed suppression, and also reducing our input costs. I'm also improving water quality and my soils are more productive, increasing my yield and bottom line. Healthy soils produce healthy crops. Cost share signups are going on now. To take advantage of the financial assistance, stop by the Conservation District to enroll in the Cover Crop Cost Share program because every acre counts.
Dive into riches at Ocean Downs with a summer cash bash. The prizes swell every Saturday in July, up to $20,000 cash. Earn entries daily and more every Tier Tuesday, plus Friday, July 26th. Ocean Downs Casino, where the fun shines.
Welcome to the party. You guys, this is our show. You just never know who you're going to meet here. Let's do this.
Drew Barrymore, weekdays at noon on CoastTV.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app today. This is CoastTV News at 11.
A car is destroyed in Salisbury after 2 children were playing with fire. The Maryland State Fire Marshal says around 11:52 p.m. Sunday, a 9- and 6-year-old set a piece of furniture on fire in a front yard. As you see in this photo, the fire spread to the nearby car. The 9-year-old was taken to the hospital to be evaluated for smoke inhalation.
In business news, Walmart must face a class action lawsuit over allegations that it engaged in deceptive pricing in its stores. Now, that's according to a federal appeals court ruling from last week. Now, it reversed a lower court ruling. In that lawsuit, an Ohio man says he purchased more than a dozen items from a Walmart store in Illinois in 2022, but the man claims that prices for some of those items that he rang up were 10 to 15% higher than what the actual shelf price had listed. The lawsuit also alleges there were similar discrepancies in stores in 5 other states.
Americans expect that inflation will continue to wane during the next year. That's according to new consumer survey data released today by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. The survey conducted in June found that year-ahead inflation expectations declined for the second month in a row. Those surveyed said they expect prices to rise much more slowly for food, gas, rent, medical expenses, college, and gold than the month before. June's survey was the first time since July 2023 those 6 key commodities all registered slower price hike expectations.
Coming up in sports, in Summer League basketball, the Cats from Del Mar and Crisfield vying for a spot in the playoffs.
And next is the EV car craze slowing down. We look at trend numbers and what the experts have to say.
And what do the experts have to say about the golf forecast? Well, it's going to be a hot one, definitely. But it's going to be all good. But remember, it's going to be hot and humid, and we're watching out for spot showers in the afternoon. Provided you, of course, keep your eye on the ball.
The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on CoastTV.
The big issues: abortion, civil rights, healthcare. When Trump policies were attacking our rights, County Executive Matt Meyer fought back. Now Trump is promising a national abortion ban and huge cuts to healthcare coverage. Matt's healthcare plan will reduce costs, not coverage, by increasing competition on the exchange. And Matt's plan will protect women's access to abortion, always. So call Matt Meyer. Tell him you support his plans to protect Delaware values.
At De Palma Dental, we take pride in providing world-class care right here on the shore.
So I came to Del Palma Dental because I wanted a more even, natural look, and I got it. Everyone is kind, caring, comforting, accommodating. My teeth, my crowns look natural again, and my mouth is healthy.
Trust your smile to a dentist accredited by the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry.
Schedule your free consultation with De Palma Dental in Berlin, Maryland today.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, like myself in flooring, to ensure you get the best product to fit your needs and that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
They worked with me, gave me different options, kept within that budget, completed it on time. Delmarva Design Center was awesome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Some people will stop at nothing to get your stuff. Get solid security and protect yourself from theft, fire, and accidents with American-made Rhino at Southern States in Milford. Experience peace of mind with financing available when you buy local from the only Rhino dealer on Delmarva. They'll deliver and set it up for you too. Ask about Rhino's Thank You for Your Service rebate program. Protect your stuff with Rhino. Everything else is just storage. Securing Delmarva one safe at a time. Southern States of Milford.
Back in March, President Joe Biden announced efforts to ramp up electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid production to cut down on car emissions by 2032.
The Biden administration is even offering tax breaks, but despite the push for more environmentally friendly cars, sales are still waning.
In tonight's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at what's deterring drivers from buying electric.
Fewer people appear to be buying electric vehicles. That's according to a new study by AAA. They recently conducted a survey about EV sales and found only 18% of U.S. adults say they're very likely or likely to buy an EV as their next car.
That's a bit shocking.
Greg Brannon from AAA says he was really surprised by those numbers because more companies are making EVs, giving consumers more options.
We were really expecting that to be kind of a tipping point for it, and that the interest and demand would start to increase, but we've definitely seen the opposite.
According to the survey, the biggest issues for consumers are high purchase price, high cost of battery repair, lack of convenient charging stations, and not being able to install a charging station where they live. When it comes to price, electric cars vary drastically from just under $30,000 to well over $100,000, according to U.S. News and World Report.
The price is definitely a concern for people, but it's not the only concern. There's a lot of challenges around charging and concern about how people use the vehicles.
But if you do choose to buy an electric vehicle, there are tax benefits. You can get a credit of $7,500 if you purchase a new EV or plug-in hybrid, and $4,000 for a used one. Some experts in the EV industry are optimistic the lag in sales will change.
I think you're going to see new sales continue to tick back up. But right now, with interest rates and just the high cost of a new car, it's not surprising to me that people are opting for a used car at a better price point.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
In Olympic news, the U.S. men's basketball team's chase for a fifth straight gold medal is about to begin. The team held an open practice Sunday night in Las Vegas to let the world get a look at this year's lineup. It includes future Hall of Famers Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Team USA will enter the 2024 Paris Games as the heavy favorites for the gold. However, the star-studded roster will need some time to adjust to their new teammates and some slight differences from the NBA rules.
It is an adjustment, but like anything, the more reps you get, the more comfortable you get. Thankfully, we have another 2.5 weeks before the first Olympic Games to kind of shake out all those cobwebs and get used to the spacing on the floor, the feel of the ball, all that.
I'm playing alongside Steph, Bron, and KD, so I ain't got to do too much. I just got to be out there and do the right thing.
Team USA will hold their first exhibition game Wednesday against Canada. From there, the squad will head to Abu Dhabi for 2 matchups. It'll face Australia on Monday, July 15th, and then Nikola Jokic's Serbia squad on Wednesday, July 17th. Of course, the Olympics kick off on July 26th, and you can watch those right here on CoastTV.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
Good evening, sports fans. High school basketball teams in the Maryland Supreme Summer League have a few more games left to prep for the playoffs. DSN's Luke Mealy and Brian Dyke takes us to a top matchup tonight at Worcester County Rec Center.
with downtown sneaks from Crisfield taking on the Cats from Del Mar. Let's get right into the highlights. Each side vying for playoff position. 8 teams make it in the 13-team field. And early on, Martino Jackson was rolling from the outside, and Dustin Peterson was getting whatever he wanted.
Martino Action Jackson knocked down the first basket of the game, and he did not stop there. What a great performance tonight, and as you see through Dustin Peterson doing everything within his human possibility powers to keep this one close.
Peterson was phenomenal, but here comes Elijah Thomas on the break for 2. He had a big night in this game, 18 points for Downtown Sneaks, and there's Jackson again for 3. He led Downtown Sneaks with 19. The 1-2 punch were cooking for Crisfield.
Yeah, you might as well put a chef hat on and give each one a spatula, because cooking they were indeed.
Here's Jackson again. How about the rope inside? Another and one. That time for Marcus Sturgis on the hoop. And then there's KJ. Didn't see too much of him in the scoring column tonight, but he had a phenomenal game as well.
Yeah, Kenneth Jones got it done on both ends of the floor. A lot of little things keeping his team full speed ahead.
There's Thomas again as Downtown Sneaks really started to pull away as this second half went on. And Elijah Thomas, a big reason why. It was 23 points for the Cats and Dustin Peterson on one end, but on the other, it was Downtown Sneaks pulling out a 51-35 victory.
That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
Find 16 mattresses under $9.99 at Johnny Janosick's Mattress World. Like this Nectar 5.0 Foam Queen mattress for just $699.95 with immediate delivery available. Shop Johnny Janosick's Mattress World.
Transform your bath today with Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Call now and ask about our Refresh for Less promotion and get a new bath or shower for only $69.95. Plus, get 20% off all upgrades.
Imagine stepping into a beautifully renovated bath designed by our experts and installed by our certified professionals.
This offer is hotter than a sauna and won't last forever. So don't miss out on our Refresh for Less promotion for just $69.95 with 20% off all upgrades.
Before you sign, keep Baths by Spicer Brothers in mind, because you deserve the best.
Joining forces for great health care, it's Your Dachshund in partnership with Tidal Health. Your Dachshund has much of what you'd go to the ER for, but when only the ER will do, Tidal Health is there for you. Your Dachshund opens 7 days a week with 6 convenient locations and late hours too. Book online for no more waiting room limbo. Fast care at reasonable prices. Your Dachshund in partnership with Tidal Health, accepting most insurance plans and Medicare. Named Best Urgent Care on the Shore. Feel better, faster at Your Dachshund.
Check out Preston Ford's 4th of July sales event and see why everyone is saying cars cost less in Preston. This 4th of July, you could save over $8,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Ford F-150 XLT. We have a wide selection of over 900 Ford models available for immediate purchase. Shop with us online at PrestonFord.com and we'll deliver it to your driveway today. The 4th of July sales event is the time to get your best deal at Preston Ford. Remember, cars cost less in Preston.
Bring the taste of summer home with Harbor House Seafood, where the flavors of the sea and the sizzle of the grill come together. Indulge in the finest seafood, shrimp, crab, scallops, and fresh fish, straight from the sea to your table. Savor premium black Angus meats, hand-trimmed New York strip, filet mignon, and fresh burgers, hand-selected for your summer feast. This summer, discover the freshest flavors at Harbor House Seafood Market. Harbor House Seafood, your surf and turf market in Seaford, Delaware. Shop in person or online at harborhouseseafood.com.
Find your better night's sleep for less at Johnny Janosick. Shop now and get this Kingstown Queen mattress, plush or firm, doorbuster price only $5.99. For a limited time only at Johnny Janosick's Mattress World.
If you're located along the coast, from Lewis Coast to any of the beaches, we're under a dense fog advisory that's been extended. But if you're in the inland areas, we have a heat advisory in effect. So no matter where you are in Delmarva, you got something to watch out for, and it's basically heat related one way or another. Now, our UV index is going to stay elevated for the next few days in a row. So we're talking about 9s, 8s, 9s, and 8s. So you're still going to need your sunblock in a profound way. Our umbrella giveaway winner, by the way, is Jim Smith of Seaford. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. You can keep up with the latest on your forecast by simply calling our line at 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by Baird Mandalas, Brockstedt, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling exclusive 10-day forecast. We're staying in the 90s until we get to Friday. Then we go right back to the 90s again by Sunday.
Thank you, Paul. Looks hot. That's what it looks like. Thanks for
Humid.
joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.